Religion, it can bring so many people together and yet can divide nations asunder. It brings so much pain and suffering and also comfort and peace. It can bring wars and yet can bring nations back together. What is the point of such a powerful and yet dangerous tool? Why not just ask the one who divided time in two and still has the biggest influence on all nations and their religions today? Jesus of Nazareth. In fact, during his day, he had religious leaders get on him for not following the traditions of the elders. So you know what he said to them? He said, "Well did Isaiah prophesy of you, you hypocrites. These people, they honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me." Even in the prophecy, it says that they follow the traditions and the commandments of men over following God. So tell me, what do you think a religious lady would say, a Christian lady who grew up in a religious home would say about something like this? She has some really good insight.
So I actually grew up in a Christian home, was a believer at the age of 5, and went to a church that believed in the Spirit and all of that. And so with that, I continued my faith journey all the way through my life. But I can see where there were aspects where I had taken on the religious part of it. And really what God has done in the last several years is breaking off the religious from me, where there is a relationship with the Father and how he sees us. He sees us as his sons and his daughters, and really being able to call him my Father. Like, he hears us and he sees us that way. And I think that really literally changed the whole trajectory for me. Yes, I had a relationship with him before, but there were mindsets, old mindsets and things that I adopted that would keep me in a place of, you would call it, like almost conformity or just bondage, really, like religious bondage. And God doesn't want that. He wants us to walk in freedom. He has a life for us that is full of abundance down here. He wants us to be able to impart heaven and bring it to earth. And it's all about his kingdom. And he just loves us all so much. And so when I started to understand who I was and understand how much he loved me and be able to love myself, so that would have been over a 2-year period of what Chris was sharing in this journey that we walked through. Now I can walk in a place of freedom that I've never walked through before in my life, and literally be a freedom in our marriage, a freedom in all of my relationships with people, because I see them differently, because I see myself and I love myself first of all. And I can love him because he first loved me out of that. And there's just this abundance. And I really, for me, just want to pinpoint that our relationship with the Father is literally a conversation that never has to die. Like, it's literally, we wake up and he gives us the breath in our lungs and we're able to actually breathe in his Spirit. And the reason that we're alive is because he's put that breath inside of us. And when we recognize that, we are able to impart that into a world that is losing hope, but he is the hope. And so now when I go into a sphere, when I go into an atmosphere, I'm able to be his breath into this world. I'm able to
his fragrance.
Just
Corinthians, it talks about
we are his fragrance.
We're fragrance.
Yeah.
Depending on what it is, death to some and life to others.
Yeah, our heart is just really that when we walk into a place, they can see the love of the Father through us, and that they would be able to know him in that way. So that's really my heart, is that people would see the Father and be able to experience him, that he's real, and it's not anything that you do to deserve it, and there's not anything that you've done that takes him by surprise that he's not going to love you for. He loves you in the midst of who you are right now. And he just has such an abundant life for you down here, so that we can eventually go up there. But it's all about kingdom and releasing that in this sphere. that we're in. So, yeah, I just am so grateful for the testimonies, because the testimonies of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy. And it says that we overcome by the blood of the Lamb, by the word of our testimony. And so I really feel like as we share, we overcome, and we're able to transfer that into others of what God has done in our lives. And we are a living, breathing testimony of what God has done. Like, my husband's literally been saved and freed from so many things, and then now being healed, and God's hand has been completely upon him in this journey with the cancer and all of it. And literally, when he was in the hospital and he was like, I just want my body to heal holistically, literally the next day we get a message from our daughter's boss saying, hey, we're going to gift you 1 year of holistic health. And so he's been able to heal that way, as well as using some other approaches, but ultimately it is God that is healing him. And so, yeah, our whole, our whole family is just a testament to his glory. Our daughter is amazing. She is married and has an amazing husband, and they are in the ministry. They do youth ministry. And they also, our whole family walked through life coaching, and literally that has changed our entire life. God has used a very dear friend of ours who is a life coach, and he just really began to show us and unlock things within us, and it's really just helped our family. Yeah, it's amazing.
So religion isn't that bad after all, is it? But didn't Jesus say that in order to be a true disciple, you have to deny yourself, take up your cross, and follow him? Is there really more to religion than just tradition? I mean, does truth really come from a being of ultimate power formed into a human's body? Or was he just an ordinary man that was never supposed to exist? Well, you can find answers to all these questions if you search for truth, just like the Bereans did with Paul. In fact, if you think about it, honestly, the only truth in this world you can really find is in God's own word.